So the other day, while streaming some Last Gen BO3, I got donated by Frozen USB to do possibly the weirdest and dumbest challenge I have ever been asked to do. It was get to round 30 on Bus Depot while wearing a gorilla mask that I showed on stream months ago, and it's now become a joke in the streams, and I have to act like a femboy. Um, so yeah, this is definitely the weirdest challenge I have ever gotten. As far as the act like a femboy part, I don't know, but at least I know I can wear this gorilla mask and play Bus Depot and try to get to round 30 while basically not being able to see anything and also barely being able to breathe because, I mean, it's a rubber mask, so it's super hot, I can barely breathe, and the eye holes are tiny, so I can barely even see parts of the screen. And while getting to round 30 on Bus Depot should be a big enough challenge in itself, I have played this map a stupid amount at this point and have become a somewhat competent player when it comes to Bus Depot, literally just because of the I don't even know how many videos I've done of playing it, whether it's just trying to get to round 50, doing some challenge, or anything. I have put probably more hours into this map than I have like Nuketown, probably Farm, maybe even Transit, probably Origins, to be honest. I don't play Origins that often. I've probably put more hours into Bus Depot than Origins. So I was actually pretty confident I'd be able to make it to 30, but I knew it would be hard because, I mean, it's really hard to tell because, I mean, it's kind of just not that, like, easy to see this mask in this recording, but it is very hard to see with that thing. The eye holes on it are not big, and honestly, the worst part of it is that after having that thing on for maybe a minute or two, it becomes super hard to breathe, and I would have to pause every now and then, like pause the game, pause the recording, and just take it off so that I could like have a second of being able to actually breathe. And then I started doing what pretty much everyone does on Bus Depot, just hitting the box as soon as possible to preferably just get a ray gun Mark II, but if I got a regular ray gun, I would take it since the goal is only around 30, the regular ray gun will get me there fine. And I almost died a couple times while trying to hit the box, just because, I mean, it's Bus Depot, you're a two-hit, bad things are gonna happen, especially when I can't see that well. Somehow I made it through that gap without dying, I honestly don't know how, and then just a little bit later I end up getting the regular ray gun, which, like I said, I'll take it. It would get me to around 30 pretty easily, and I wasn't sure that I was going to be able to get much past 30, if even get to 30, because, like I said, this mask was basically suffocating me, and I can't even see that well. For anyone who's newer to Bus Depot, or I mean just doesn't know about this, if you stand in this fog, no zombies will spawn inside that actual building. So on the early rounds, until I'd say about round 15, I usually just try to stay in the fog as much as possible, just because it makes the game a bit faster, and it's honestly a still like pretty safe strat, at least safe for this map, I guess. Nothing on this map is really that safe. But, I mean, this just makes it faster, and it's a pretty safe strategy. Just hang out in here, pretty much just killing with whatever good gun you got from the box, and then whatever ray gun you have, either the regular one or the Mark II. And then on round 13, Starkly Plays decided to invite me, which was clearly him trying to sabotage me and make me die. So everyone, please, in the comments, put L Starkly Plays just to get him for obviously trying to sabotage me and make me die. What a dumb idiot head. Then at about round 15, I usually will start actually trying to get full hordes, or at least a like decent big group. Sometimes not actually full hordes, because on 15 the walking zombies start appearing. So on 15 there will be one that's walking, and then 16 two, then 17 three, and so on. I think the max amount of walking zombies per horde is like 6, maybe 8. I actually don't know. I've never counted, nor do I really care to go and look, but yeah, after about 15, I usually try to get a full horde, or at least close to a full horde. And at the very end of round 15, literally with one last crawler, I had one bullet of the Galil, so I decided to just get rid of it for the MP5, even though the Galil is still good and will very easily kill. And then literally that crawler that I left dropped a max ammo. So I pretty much got rid of the Galil for absolutely no reason, because I would have had full ammo from that. So that was pretty annoying, but at least I have the MP5 now. If you didn't know, the MP5, the Chicom or Chicom, however you say that gun's name, and the ballistic knife, those three have the like fastest mobility in all of BO2. So having the MP5 on this map is just very good. It'll help you train, but for these earlier rounds, it is better to usually just train with the ray gun out, just because if there is a zombie blocking you, you can probably ray gun out of your way, but in the higher rounds, when the ray gun can't get a zombie out of your way, you might as well just train with an MP5 out because it'll give you better mobility. Also, during this challenge, like I said, I usually try to hang out in the fog as part of my strategy, but the mixture of the fog plus me wearing that dumb mask makes it like so hard to see. So on insta-kills, I would literally have to just rely on grenades half the time and just be like straight up blind firing unless the zombie was on fire. If it was on fire, I could see it pretty easily because it's like glowing, but the ones that weren't, I literally like could not see them at all just because I mean, like I said earlier, the eye holes on this thing are tiny, plus the fog literally makes me pretty much blind. And there were so many times this game where I thought I was absolutely dead, and I swear I was just getting straight up lucky to not get double swiped. Like any other time, and I was dead. I don't know how I was able to get through some of this. But after a little while, I ended up hitting around 20, and I was super shocked because this was my first try. Sometimes when I'm playing Bus Depot, even normally, I don't get to 20 on my first try just because, I mean, it's Bus Depot. You have those dumb early deaths where you're just trying to either spin the box or you're just training and you just get double swiped. But I'm on round 20 first try where I literally can barely see and can barely even breathe while playing. There was this moment on round 21 where even watching it back, I am still shocked I got out of that. Not only did I jump through that, but then I got hit another time right there, and I guess I just regened perfectly, and then was able to get through here and run out and be completely fine. I honestly, in the moment, thought I was dead, and even while editing this, I'm very surprised I got through that. And then at the end of round 23, I end up getting an insta-kill, and then from the insta-kill, I get a nuke that ends round 23, and you can literally see me like at the end of this round like pulling the mask forward to try to like let me see better and actually breathe, because when I would pull it forward and I could like put my nose directly against the actual nose hole, I could actually breathe, but obviously I can't do that while I'm playing, so I was able to actually breathe well for about 5 to 10 seconds at the end of pretty much every round. And honestly, the breathing thing was way worse than the eyesight. I can at least see like somewhat well in this, but breathing was horrible. At the end of every couple rounds, I would literally have to just pause the game, pause the recording, and just take it off for a second because I was like drenched in sweat from this thing. Then at round 25, I start my main high round strategy, which is the no carpenter strategy. I actually forgot to rebuild the barriers in here, so it wasn't going to fully work yet. But basically, like I said earlier, when you stand in the fog, no zombies will spawn in this building. So if you start the round in the fog, and then run in here, you'll have no zombies in here, and you can basically just run a circle around this room and get the full horde together and then kill them in the fog and pretty much just repeat that. That's what I do pretty much every game, and since you have all the barriers in that building rebuilt, it means there are only like I think 2 that are actually open, so you'll get no carpenters, so more insta kills, max ammos, nukes, the actual helpful drops, and it's a pretty safe strategy to do. It's safe most of the time, but it can go wrong pretty much only when you're actually running to the actual building to get inside there, if some zombies come through that barrier that's kind of near the box, but majority of the time they won't, and even if they do, you can usually run to the right and just do the normal training strategy of like, I don't know, kind of training around those benches that are in the middle of the map. So it's usually pretty safe. Occasionally things will go wrong, obviously, but you have a lot of good chances to actually escape a bad situation. Then on 28, while ray gunning a horde, I accidentally hit myself with it and scared myself so bad and thought I was going to die. And then immediately after that, while getting the next horde, I had to jump through a gap that terrified me. And then right after it, I had to go through this, which also terrified me. So just, there were so many moments in this game where I thought I was going to die, but just somehow made it out of it every single time. And then just a bit later, I kill the last zombie to go on to round 29. And this is still my first attempt, so I had a very good chance of getting to round 30 on Bus Depot in this dumb challenge first attempt. And you can kind of see me take like a deep breath right there, not only because it was hard to breathe, but like just trying to tell myself to just lock in and not die now on 29. And then after possibly the scariest 4 minutes of my entire life, the round ends on an insta-kill, so I hit round 30, first try, while wearing a gorilla mask that makes it to where I can not see well and not breathe well. So I guess I'm just too good at Bus Depot for these Bus Depot challenges now. I cannot believe I just first tried a Bus Depot challenge. Oh my god, I could barely breathe through half of that. Jesus Christ, that was... I am so shocked that I first tried that. And I didn't stop at 30, I decided to continue on since this was my first try and I was doing well, and I thought maybe, just maybe, I could get to round 50 and officially just kill two birds with one stone, get this challenge done, and get the Bus Depot round 50 done that I first started trying like 8 months ago. I think it's been almost like 6 months since I had that death on round 49, and I think I've only gotten back to the 40s like maybe 2 or 3 times. I also haven't really tried it too consistently, like I very rarely try again to actually high round Bus Depot because I mean, it is just painful, but like, if I got the round 50 doing this challenge, that would be actually legendary. And then just the next round, I nearly died on an insta-kill, which would have been very, very, very annoying. And then actually the round after that, I nearly died on an insta-kill yet again. And then just about 10 seconds later, I nearly died on that same insta-kill again. So I was clearly just so good at the game for surviving all of that, and definitely wasn't just being completely stupid. And then just the next round, after killing a horde, I just got some pretty bad spawns and my sprint cut out at the absolute worst time to end my game on round 33. I could have gotten through that if I just had some sprint and was able to dodge that last hit, but round 33, keep in mind, on my very first try of a challenge where I can't see well and like can hardly breathe while playing on Bus Depot is pretty good, and I will absolutely take that. But thank you for watching, please like and subscribe, and nobody give me any more challenges involving this mask because I will literally probably suffocate and die.